first thing that we're going to be going over today is the the shelter. The shelter is probably one of my favorite buildings. It's right here, located next to your castle. So if you click on this, it allows you to put your troops away for up to 12 hours. Now, I always choose 12 hours, and the reason for that is I can select however many I want to put in, I throw them in, and then there's no penalty for pulling them out, and you see the timer on there, but I can actually just recall them and they're instantly back, so it's no problem to store troops. Now, the reason you store troops is because you can be attacked. I always store my troops when I don't have a shield up. In fact, sometimes if I'm afraid I might forget about my shield, I even store my troops while I have a shield up. So in this case, I have the new player shield, but that shield will be gone in 2 days. So, just good practices are to go in here and put my troops away when I'm not using them. And then that protects me even if something happens, okay? So now that my troops are there, again, all I do to recall them, pull them back, and you can see that now I have the ability to go out here and do a little bit of farming. And when I do this, I actually use my lowest level heroes, and the reason is because they gain a very small amount of XP. And I'm always in the process of pushing my heroes. Now that we've done the shelter, the one thing that you also need to know about the shelter is that there's a limit to the number of people that can be in your shelter, and you can increase that, and it's affected by your castle, as you can see here, and the deployed heroes command. So, you have to look at your castle, and your castle will tell you how big or how much you can put in the shelter. So take a look at all of these, and then right here you can see army limit, deployable army, max army size, all that stuff, okay? So that said, we're going to go ahead and move on. So now it's time to go over talents. Talents are very important for our heroes and for our gameplay within Lords Mobile. So the best thing that I can do is kind of show you how I put everything together for our talents. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and show you where those are. So talents are right here, okay? And in the beginning, what you want from your talent pool, and I'll show you my talent pool on KIA 64 in another video just so that you can kind of see it. But for now, on our new player account, we have very few talents because we're not very high level. And you can see that I'm targeting construction and research. I don't even target production of materials, and I don't do practically anything on offense, defense, trap building, any of that. What I focus on in the beginning is all about construction and research. So there are 2 sections that I can use for that. It's Construction 1 and Construction 2 and Research 1 and Research 2. And that's where I'm going with all of my talents when I begin the game. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is figure out how to get Construction 1 and Research 1 full. Once I do that, I'm going to go down the list until I get all the way down here, and I'm only going to use minimums until I get to Construction 2 and Research 2, and then I'm going to load those out. And in the beginning, that is the best way to max out your pools and keep your character moving. Okay, so in order to do that, I have to raise my level of my hero. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, the way that I choose to do that is I actually store up turf quests, and I do guild quest and administrative quests in order to keep those points rolling. So you see these each give me a little bit of XP, and sometimes they give me like this skirmish 2 will actually give me speed up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and collect all of this XP until I level. And as you can tell, I've been pretty busy, and I don't turn these in right when I get them. So it's increasing my might. It's giving me hearts. There we go. We are already at level 9. So now I'm going to have more talents. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to my talents, and then I'm going to drop, since I have 2, I'm going to drop 1 here. There you go. And then now I'm going to go back. Okay. Now you don't have to do this way. You can actually just go through all of it and then put in your talents all at once. So like that puts me at level 10. So I'm going to pop through a couple more. And see, I'm constantly getting lots of little stuff here and there. All right, now I'm at level 11, okay. Let's see if we can get to level 12 with what I've already done. So probably pretty close now. There's another one. We just got 50 turf quests. There we are. Level 12. Okay. So like I said, I don't ever really turn those in because they start stacking up my money again and I don't want to get attacked. Right now for me it's not a big deal. But, okay, so back to talents. We're going to do more talents. So now I have 9 talents. Now I can go through and push through here, but just for the purposes of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to select these until we get to a minimum. So I'll just throw 2 out there and see if that unlocked this. Now the easiest way to check is just to do this, and it says require 2 or. Okay, so we want to unlock that, so we're going to go 2. Then we're going to come down here. That didn't unlock this yet, so we're going to go back up, make sure, and we can always check. It says it requires 5 food production, so we're going to go 5. Now we could go max load, but that's not what we're after. Okay, so we have no more talents left, but I would start putting more points into stone and then ore production, and then all of a sudden I'm reached my minimum number possible to get to the highest possible construction and research, and that's what I want to do. So I'm going to work my way down, straight down the list until I get to construction and research, and then I'm going to pile every point into construction research on 1 and 2 for both of them. Okay, so now we're going to go over a little bit about how I feel about high level talents, which is a little bit different than our lower level talents. I'm just now at level 60, castle level 25, and if you'll notice, most of my buildings are level 25. There are some, like my resources, and that are not level 25, but you'll see that most of them are. And you'll notice that I did finish all these buildings at level 25, okay? And I finished over here at the altar and all that stuff. Now, at this point, it doesn't really matter how long it takes me to finish out the rest of those buildings. So I have started working on these. Now, I've started to switch over my talents. So you'll see that my construction is not very high, but I've kept my research. Okay? And I have pushed all those talents into production. Okay? But I also have innate talents. So if I apply this, I can change it over and I'll show you what I'm doing on this side. So when I want to go to attack mode, I switch over here, and this is what full-out attacks look like. My everyday stuff is over here, but I have 2 sets of innate talents that I allow myself to use. I'm either researching or I'm attacking. Okay? Right now, I have it set on the attack. So I have completely foregone anything to do with research or production, and I'm all about maxing out my squad health. And you'll notice that I have concentrated on cavalry and training speed. That's because I want my cavalry to be the strongest it can be, and I want my training to be pretty high when I'm here. This is basically my mode for training more troops. And when I get to higher levels like T4, that will be important, that I'm training a fair number of troops at a time and training them pretty quickly. So this is my attack. Now, since I have finished most of my production, this is my research talent, which is where I keep myself most of the time. Okay? You'll see that I started up here at the top. I have nothing in offense or troop production or anything because I really don't care. Now, on a day-to-day, I don't care about attacking people. So right here, food production, I don't care about food itself because my army just eats it. So I don't even worry about anything with it. I have a couple of points in construction, but that was only to get to the research. And the rest of it, you'll notice I'm maxing out ore, gold production, stone production, and all that. Now, I did not max out gathering, which was another way that I could have gone, but I chose to just do standard production. So I don't worry about gathering too much. And I didn't even max out max load. See, that's for army capacity, and I'm not worried about that right now. This is just about producing basically more gold and more other items. What I maxed out my gathering was here, and I increased my speed to 100. Now, later, once I have finished my research in general, where like I only have a couple of items left to research, I'll actually redo all of the points in research and put them into max load, which will increase my army capacity, and that will be my next thing, or my gathering speed, one of the two. And like I said, the important thing here is that I have turned a corner where I don't need to produce as much construction, so I have respect so that I've got all my research points, but I've changed all of the points that were in construction and put them into other production methods for my day-to-day. And then if I want, I can go to attack mode where I basically buff out everything I've got for attacking. Okay, and then that would be talents. Now, obviously, at level 60, I'm really not getting any more talents. And this is basically where I'm going to get my extra points, which we'll go into in another video. But I can swap out what I want to have. Like this makes my character better for attacking, and this makes my character better for researching. And you can kind of see what I'm doing there. But we'll go into the hero and the equipment in another video shortly, okay? You guys have fun. Bye.